Morning, folks. We're live, apparently, according to the screen. I'm here to do a Wednesday build, and I've got my trusted assistant, Elizabeth, who's really shy and quite nervous this morning. Said yesterday she'd be fine doing this, and now she's really nervous. Anyway, she's going to take care of some of the technical stuff from behind the scenes, controlling the jiggery pokery over there. We're going to build a, so she's going to disappear that way, whatever. We're going to build this morning a field roller, LX436, one of them, and we're going to build the little LX441 farm Bale trailer. So I just thought I'd run through these this morning and show you how straightforward they are to build, really. Just going to get ready, make sure I've got all the gear I need. So we'll do the intro thing, and then we'll be back ready to crack on. So if you can hit that button there, yeah, please. Okay, right, hopefully you can hear me. I think I can hear myself through my own phone, which is really weird, but that means I've got audio, so that's all right. So right, Elizabeth, just give me a second. Yeah, so if you could take care of the comments, Elizabeth, just read any out that I need to answer, pop them on the screen, remember to do that. If you need to comment on the things, click that thing where it says YouTube, and you can say I'll leave it to it. Right, I'm going to get on with the build then. So first up, don't need a huge amount of kit to build this, gear to build this kit. We're going to do the field roller first, which is that one. It's pretty straightforward. There's some MDF parts and some laserboard parts. Really straightforward. Glue I'm going to use for both builds this morning. Deluxe Materials laser cut kit glue. I've got the jam jar with a bit of wet tissue in the bottom to stop the glue tip blocking up. I'm using an SMS tip too. It's just a little needle applicator. They come with the glue anyway, just a long one comes with the glue. I'm using our shorter one because I prefer it. So I'll get that ready.
John McKenzie said, how's the weather down your end?
How's the weather down here? Well, the weather down here is a bit on and off, to be honest. We've had Cornish sunshine this morning. It's been raining, but it's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. It's been okay, but I'm missing the sunshine, I must admit. Hopefully it's going to brighten up the rest of the week, which will be nice. So I'm just going to release a few parts from here. I'll start with releasing the MDF parts first. I haven't printed the instructions off for these this morning. I meant to and I forgot, so I'm just going to wing it, but they're really straightforward, you can't get it wrong. So I'm just going to cut the parts out that I need first. So these are the roller parts, formal MDF sheet. Well, the kit builds 2 rollers. I'm just going to build one. There's no point in sitting here watching me build 2 rollers when you don't need them. I'll just be repeating myself for ages. Sorry, which is also like concentrating on putting these out. They're quite difficult to get out of the sheet because of the MDF. It's a little bit thicker. I have to give them a bit of a push. Anyway, hope everybody's all right. So, who's watching the football tonight? I'm not really into football, so I might go to Asda instead. No, I'm not. I need to probably watch it. Tina and Elizabeth are more into it than I am. But I do hope we get through. It would be rather good for the country, I think. So I've released all the 8 roller parts. The cutting mat's a bit sticky, which is a bit weird. Yeah, so we've got these little roller parts here. We've got 8 of those for one roller. There's a lot of extra stuff on this sheet that you don't need. We include all sorts of things on this kit. So you've got cartwheels. Obviously, I don't need the cartwheels for the rollers. There's some leaf springs. There's some gears and various other bits. We don't need any of those. And hand wheels, we don't need any of those for that. We just need the main roller parts. The other pieces are just purely for you to use for detailing a farm scene, really. Just random farm junk. I'll probably build a cartwheel because they're really straightforward to do. They look really good leaned up against a barn and things like that. Right, so I've just released the top part of the roller. And then we've got the main roller frame, I suppose.
Dylan said, not sure if I'll watch all of it, but he fancies a Vindaloo now.
Oh, right, okay. I couldn't eat a vindaloo. I could eat a curry of some sort, but I couldn't handle a vindaloo. Definitely not. I'd be out of action for a week. Right, we've got the axle. It's a square axle. Elizabeth said, "Do the rollers move?" And so, unfortunately, not. They don't. They don't go round, but they don't need to really. So, they're purely for show. You may notice a popping noise as I remove things from the laser board sheet with the knife. If you work from the back of the sheet, you get quite a positive pop when you cut things out. I think I mentioned it before. It pops out nice and cleanly and easily that way. On the front, it tends to be hard to cut parts out. So if you work from the back, it's a bit more of a positive kind of experience. Right, roller parts then. We haven't got many. It's really straightforward. We have a frame and an axle. We have the top guard, I suppose it kind of is. And then we've got two end brackets, for want of a better word, I don't know what else to call them. And we've got 8 of the roller parts. So it's really straightforward, this. What we need to do first is we need to glue one of these little tiny end brackets onto the end of the axle, which is a little bit easier said than done because it's tiny. This is probably the most delicate piece of the whole operation. And once we've done this, the rest of it is pretty much plain sailing. So that's gone on there. So I'm just going to hold that for a minute or two, or a few seconds. Let the glue go off, then we can thread the roller parts onto the axle. So that's the end piece, end bracket on the end of that axle there. So just wait for the glue to go off a minute. What we can do while waiting for that to go off is, because this is kind of independent of the axle, we can actually glue this guard. If I can pick the parts up, we can glue that guard. This arch-shaped guard there goes onto the middle of there. So I'm just going to glue that on as well, and then that can sit and go off. The glue on that can go off while we build the rest of the roller. So might need tweezers for this. So you don't need much equipment to build this kit at all. You need a sharp knife, glue with a very fine tip applicator, so laser cut kit glue is perfect. Rocket card glue will work as well. And a pair of tweezers, really, that's about it. That's all you need. And then you can paint it with acrylics, artist acrylics, anything like that. Excuse Lola, Terry's just turned up, the sandwich. Lola always tells us that sandwich man's in. Yeah, this one's sand painted up, which has just got just been done with artist acrylics. I can't remember, Dale Rowney or whatever it's called. I think he's just used silver, brown, and blue on this and made quite a nice job of it actually.
Tinker's End said, could you replace the axle with a plastic rod so it rotates?
You could do, if you click on those points to look at it, they'll pop up, isn't it? Yes, you could replace the axle with a round one. It would need to be about 0.8 millimeters diameter, and it would work then. This is a 0.8 mil square hole, so maybe 0.6 mil would actually work. But yes, you could, or you could drill these out slightly more with a Dremel, with to a 1 mil bit, I suppose, you could do that. Yeah, it's there to be kit patched. If you want it to move because you want to connect it to a Fowler car system tractor or something, you can tow the roller, yeah. How about doing an old farm thrashing machine? Yes, that's something on my list. Roger Lander sent me pictures of the day of an old thrashing machine, whatever it's called. He sent me pictures of those. I will have a look at doing one. He sent me a picture of an old circular saw as well, which is quite, well, it looked like a medieval torture machine, but it was an old circular saw that's powered off a tractor or a traction engine, and that would be good to do as well. So I'll do one of those. Right. What we're going to do now, really simple. I'm going to thread these onto here, test your eyesight a little bit. I'm going to thread the rollers on, and all I need to make sure I do when I thread these on is that I line parts up properly.
John Duncan said, what type of glue and dispenser are you using?
Glue is Deluxe Materials laser cut kit glue. It comes in that bottle and it comes with the needle. We have our own needles which are slightly thinner than the ones it comes with. Why? I don't know, just because really. I can't get, well, there's a reason why I can't get the same size ones Deluxe supply with the kit or with the bottle, so I had to get slightly shorter ones, but they're still perfectly adequate. And to be honest, I tend to use the shorter ones for most of them. They're easy to clean and don't block up as quickly as the Deluxe ones. Right, so just need to make sure I get all of these lined up as it should be. You have to excuse me while I concentrate on this because it's testing my eyesight then. Right, so just thread these on. I've done 5, 6, 2 more to go. We're done. 7. Just noticed there's a piece of something behind there which is stopping that pushing on all the way down, which is irritating. Should be okay. Right. Get on. Okay. Right. There we go. Just to give it a bit of a push to make sure that sits down nice and neatly because I've got a bit too much glue on the bottom there. What we do now then, so I've got the rollers all in place. So what we'll do is we'll glue the other end bracket on. Now the other thing you've got to do here is make sure you get the other end bracket on exactly the same as the first one you put on. Otherwise, if it's upside down, the whole roller won't go together. So just concentrate and double check that you've got that exactly the right way round. So apply a little tiny bit of glue to that end of the roller. And you have a roller with 2 brackets. As you can see, this is really, really straightforward to build. So easy. Morning, everybody. I'll say morning to a few people. Morning, Rennie. Morning, David. Morning, Alan. Morning, Brian. Morning, Mick. Good to see you. Hope you're all well. It seems like ages since I've done a line. It was only a couple of weeks ago. It seems months. Right, so wait for that to dry a little bit. But that's the basics of that roller, and we have our frame there, which is ready to go. So while I wait for that to dry for a few seconds, I just assemble a cartwheel. Cartwheels are really, really easy. You can't get these wrong. We just release a wheel from the sheet, and then we have some wheel centers. We have large and small ones, because obviously we've got large and small cartwheels. And then quite simply, I'm going to glue the center.
Celtic Dave said get a pair of reading glasses to see clearer, just in the set, and they sold them in Poundland.
I need to, I must admit, I need to go or get my eyes tested or something. But yeah, I might actually do that. I might go and have a play with some reading glasses and see if it makes a difference. Because sometimes it tests my eyesight. There we go. We have, I don't know if yours will work. I look right Wally in your glasses. Oh, Christ. Everything's just come really close. Oh, I can't concentrate today. No, I can't concentrate today. Thank you, but no. Right. I think I'm long sighted because I can see stuff from a long way away, but not close up. Right, there we go. Cartwheel. That was quick and really easy. Paint that with, I don't know, a grey, kind of grey brown for sort of old wood colour. Red. Cartwheels tend to often be red, things like that, red or yellow, any colours you like, really. Whatever. Paint the outside black to mimic the steel band that they have around them. I don't know, anything. Do whatever you like with those, but they're really good. Look, lean up against the barn, pile them in some tall grass or something, anything. They look really good. Right, this is now set, more or less, our roller part. So what we're going to do now, should be a quick build, this one. This is about done. Right, bit of glue along there. So we're working on the opposite side of where we put the guard. And a bit of glue on that side. There. And all we do now is drop the roller into position. Just nudge it with the fingers just to get it exactly where I want it, so that it sits square in the slot. And there, I have an upside down roller. In a minute when the glue's gone off, I'll turn it over and you can see it finished. But there you go, it's done. That's a roller finished. So easy. so straightforward. And with this stacking concept here on the roller parts, I've got a lot of ideas for other things I want to do now. I know this works. It opens up a lot more scope for a number of projects and kits and things. So keep an eye out for those. So there you go. On there, so there's loads more clutter. Leaf springs. I particularly like the leaf springs. They look great. Leaning up against a workshop or something. Look really smart. Leaf springs, gears, hand wheels, and stuff. And it builds 2 of these, which you can paint up and leave in a field somewhere. So there you go. There's the finished roller.
Electric Fox asked, is there any of these in Engage?
I will have a go at this in Engage, actually. We have a chap in the Railway Modelers group who is really, really good at building Engage stuff. If you've not seen his YouTube channel, I think it's called Cartwheel. He's really, really good, and he's volunteered, or I kind of coaxed him and bullied him into building some Engage kits for us, because I'm not great at building Engage. But Michael will be testing a few of our Engage products for us over the coming weeks and months, so hopefully I can send him a few of these things and see how he gets on. But it would be really nice to do this in a pen, actually. So that's that one. That's the roller. That was easy, wasn't it? It took about 15 minutes. That's not bad. And that's with me waffling and stuff. Right. Again, I haven't got the instructions for this, so I'm going to wing it. But it doesn't really matter what order you do things in, as long as you end up with a trailer. That's the main thing. So first, I'm going to. So this is what we're building. So we're building this now, with the wheels and all the other stuff, all the other details on it. So I just realised I'm really hungry, really, really hungry. So first up, I'm going to release the trailer bed from the laser board sheet. I'm going to use the same glue again. Again, all you need, knife, tweezers, and the glue. That's all you need. Just making sure I've got everything else I need. This got quite a bang. So I can hear it through my phone. Every time I do this, I hear it going crack. So I'm just again working from the back of the laser board, because it gives you a positive click when parts are removed. It's much easier than working from the front, less likely to cut your fingers. Okay, so the bed is made of 2 parts. We have the bottom part, which has got engravings on it showing you where to put the braces, or I don't know what else to call them, struts, planks of wood, whatever. And then we've got the top of the bed, which has got the planked engraving on there. Now, if you wanted to paint this, probably paint it before you assemble it. I'm not going to paint it this morning because my painting skills are useless and I need to practice. But I'm just going to piece this together now. I'll start assembling this, and I'm just going to do it plain, unpainted finish, just like this one. But if you're going to do it, paint it, I would paint it before you assemble it. It's a bit easier.
David asks, have you ever thought about making a plough?
Making a what?
Plough.
A plough? Oh yeah, a plough. Yeah, we could do. There's a few things I want to do, and I don't know what half this stuff's called. The blades, whatever you call them on a plough, might be tricky, but it would be fun to do. Might have to be a hybrid kit between laser board and 3D printed. Although it probably might be doable, actually. You've got me thinking now, David. You've got me thinking. Right, so the bed goes together with 2 parts. So I've just glued those together as a sandwich. Then we're going to cut out the main chassis for the trailer. Feel free to write in the comments if you want to, anyway.
Anything?
Anything if you like. If you want to answer anybody's questions on my behalf, feel free to type comments. You can do. This is Elizabeth's first time joining me on the live, so she's learning on the job this morning.
And BR Blues asked, could you do some tractor tyres the same as the tyre kits you do?
Yes, Tim. We probably could, actually. If not, it could be something that we can get you. We have worked with you about 3D printing. It'd be interesting to actually try and engrave the tyre tread on a tractor. Never say no. There's ways and means of doing all sorts of things. Right, I've cut this chassis out. What you've got to watch now is that on the end of this bed, there are 2 little tabs. Okay, you want those at the hitch end of the trailer. And if you remember to do it correctly, you'll glue the trailer on the chassis on this way, because there's a little bit of engraving on the top there that shows you where the hitch should go. Okay, so you want to do that with the hitch bit pointing or facing upwards, so facing the same way as the plank engraving. So I'll turn it over, and all I'm going to do now is I'm doing this Oh, Mr. Step, you complete fool. Mr. Step. Oh dear, concentrate, dear boy. Concentrate. Put this on first. I need the planks on first, underneath the braces on first. No. Struts, whatever you want to call them. Or as the instructions call them, Part C or something, I think, or Part D. You need those first, you fool. Pitfalls of doing it live. Right, that's better. Okay, so we're going to glue these on. So these pieces, 7 of these, all go on here. I just need to make sure I line them up properly with the engraving. It's sometimes a bit difficult to see these because when you've got glue on there and the glue eases out a little bit or oozes out a little bit from the side of the MDF strip, you can't tell whether you're perfectly aligned or not, so you have to kind of really concentrate. They're easy enough to do, but you've just got to make sure you've got it nice and lined up. Make sure the ends are flush with the edges of the trailer bed. And whiz through and put all 7 on. In an ideal world, it would be here's one I made earlier, and you wouldn't have to sit and watch me do this, but we're not that organised. Okay, nearly done.
Melvin Price asks, can you do your MPD lighting tower in 3D printed parts with working 3D printed lights?
Yeah, it's something we want to work on. We've got the challenge is having somebody that can provide the parts and do the electrics for it. Adam was doing it, probably still is available to do some of them. But yeah, it's something we need to look at, and all I can do is apologise to everybody for the things we've promised over the years and never got around to doing yet. It's just having time to do it all. It would be a cracker of a kit if we do it lit, I must admit.
Stephen Povey said, what glue are you using?
Morning, Steve. Hope you're well. It's Deluxe laser cut tip glue. It's my glue of choice for most things these days. Anything like this. It's pretty much the same as Rocket Car glue, but it's got a sturdy tip on it rather than having the flexible bendy thing that Rocket's got on it. It's got more of a metal needle basically. They are needles. They're what do you call it? Cannula needles from a hospital. Cannula needles. We don't steal them from hospitals or stop hospitals buying them. We just buy them from a electrical supplier, would you believe it, that stocks them for dual application for this exact purpose. Chris
Bush said, any more O-gauge in the pipeline?
Yeah, we've launched the LX11 in O-gauge yesterday. They're on the site now, and we are gradually working through the kits, converting whatever we can. I'd like to try and do this in O-gauge actually, the trailer and the roller. They'd work well in O-gauge. You have a lot of stacking of the parts for the roller, but excuse me, it'd be worthwhile. Right, so there we go. That's how that should look. So we have a chassis. No, not a chassis. We have a completed trailer bed. Right, so now I'm going to glue the chassis on. So we've got it the right way up, so the hitch engraving points upwards, or the way I want it. Whether it's strictly speaking 100% correct, I don't know, but I'm going to go with it like that. So I'm going to put a bit of glue at the back there, and I'm going to work forward, just putting a little bit of glue roughly where I think it should be, based on this chassis sitting centrally on there. And I'm going to try and put a bit of glue roughly there-ish. Okay, so a few blocks of glue. This chassis now needs to line up with the back of the beam on the underside of the trailer bed, which we are now lining that up.
Any plans on making hand-thrown point levers for turnout in MPD yards?
Yes, Melvin, I have drawings or something somewhere, drawings and photos somewhere. I would like to do them. I'll try and remember to put it on ClickUp. Or if Dylan or Ian's watching, could you cross members? Yes, I've just seen somebody said cross members. Yes, cross members, that's what they're called. My brain goes, you see, when I'm doing this stuff. I forget what I'm talking about and what things are called. Yes, if Dylan or Ian are watching, can you chuck a job in ClickUp for me, please, in my to-do list? Just saying, point levers. In fact, we may already have some drawn up, but I'll have to have a look. But yeah, if you can do that for me, if not, I'll try and do it myself when we're done. Right, so we've glued the chassis on now. There. The chassis is glued to the cross members, which is glued to there. We're getting somewhere. Now we get to the more interesting parts. We're going to put the hitch on. So we have a standard drop pin style hitch. There isn't a pin, it will be so small, but there's the loop, or the eye, or whatever you call it. The drop pin, so I'm just going to glue the drop pin hitch onto the edge end of that there. There we go. So the hitch is in place. Now we're going to turn it over, and we're going to start doing some other bits in a second, which is, now then, shall we do double wheeled or single wheeled trailer? What do you reckon? Double or single?
Double.
Double, right, okay. So with this, you've got a choice of double or single wheel. This is double, which we'll do again this morning. Single wheel uses a different axle. The axles are on the sheet supplied with the kit. So we're going to do a double wheeled one. So what we're going to do is cut out the shorter axle block. I'm going to call it an axle block because I don't know what else to call it. Let's cut out the shorter one. Now that we're going to glue into these two holes on the bottom of the chassis and set that aside to dry for a few seconds. I want it to dry well because when we start fiddling around with the axle, just we need to make sure we've got something nice and sturdy to work with and it doesn't keep flopping around all over the place. So put that in there and let it set for a few minutes while we glue the end of the trailer together. It's a bit like a headboard, but I can't imagine it's called headboard on a trailer. So anybody else know what it's called? Please tell me. I'm going to make this bit. There, I'm making that bit, whatever it's called. I'll call it a headboard because I don't know what else to call it. It'll do from there. I'm making that now. So what we're going to do for that is cut the two supports out. And we're going to glue those. We're going to use the laser board sheet as a jig. Okay, so on these parts here, these cross members or whatever headboard parts, I've engraved markings for where to glue the posts. So what we're going to do is glue the posts on so they line up with the edge of this cut area here and then point this way across this open area. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on there.
Melvin Price said refueling point with canopy for fueling of diesel depot. Do you have any stock on laser cut kits?
We don't have a refueling depot, but we are working on one. I spoke to a couple of people about it last week, and we're working on something. So it's another one. Again, watch this space. I would love to do so much stuff, just so many kits we don't do. I need a designer. Do you fancy giving up dance and learning how to design stuff?
No.
No?
No.
It'd be really cool.
It's called a tailboard.
Tailboard, there you go. Ah, it's at the head. It's at the top end. So why is it called a tailboard if it's at the top end of the trailer? At the front end?
Well, then Alan said headboard is fine.
Headboard, well, whatever. Headboard, tailboard. There could be a tailboard, but this one's not got a tailboard. We're not doing a trailer with a tailboard. This is, for anybody that wants to know what it's based on, it's based on a picture I found on eBay of a listing of probably a 50-year-old trailer. I just went, that'll do. I'm just reading Dave Foley's thing now. Plate gird bridges, yes. Another one. We've got on the diorama thing, the rural layout we're building at the minute, we've got space for a couple of bridges, and one of them will hopefully be a plate girder bridge with a bit of luck. So right, what I've done on there then is I've just glued kind of haphazardly. If you're not going for a pristine finish on your trailer, exact positioning of things doesn't really matter. If you're going for a beat up and battered appearance. So right, glue those on. For the headboard, tailboard, whatever.
I think it's called a headboard. I just said it's a headboard.
Headboard, yeah.
I think.
We'll go with headboard. I like headboard. Right. Axles. Again, you've got a choice of two axles. We're going for this one, the longer one, because that fits two wheels on it. You've got another version, which is for the single wheel one. So we've got a double wheel axle. Pop that out.
Chris said, can you do a flatbed Reaper with frails?
What? What's a reaper with rails? I've no idea what one of those is. Do you mean a wood? What do you call it? A timber sort of thingy? I think I know what frails are the vertical bits, aren't they, or something? I don't know. You'll have to tell me what a reaper is in more detail because I don't know. Excuse my ignorance, but I've no idea. I wish I knew. I've no idea what one is. I just like drawings. Right, so we've cut out the axle. We're going to glue the axle onto the axle block there, try and get it nice and central and lined up at both ends. And then this build is coming together quite quickly now, which is great. Got a lot on today. I want to try and get on with trying to get the new version of our catalogue done. Elizabeth's going to start printing some of the membership cards today, hopefully for the club, which will be brilliant. We'll finally get the membership packs off and out. I know a lot of people keep asking about them. We're on them. We've not forgotten about them. We're working on them along with 3 million other things.
Stephen said another for the list is a narrow canal. I cannot talk this morning.
Yeah, canal lock and
detailing kit.
Yes, no, definitely. We would like to do that. There's so many to do. We need a designer other than just me. Elizabeth, you're going to have to retrain. You're going to have to.
Why?
Because you are, you're going to have to. Right, if we look carefully on the axle block, we should be able to just about, if you can see there with the light, there's a couple of markings engraved on there. That's for the position of the U-bolts. It's actually got U-bolts on this trailer that hold the axle in place. There's some whispering going on. There's a tiny little U-bolt, microscopic U-bolt. You don't have to fit these if you don't want to, if they're too delicate or you don't fancy the challenge, don't worry. But these quite simply poke over the top of the axle and a tiny little drop of glue just to secure it in place. If the laser board's a bit sticky, sometimes it sticks to your fingers rather than the sheet or the model you're building.
Melvin asked how much will the catalogues cost?
Catalogue's usually about £3, it just covers the cost of printing really. We may do an offer or something this year where you buy the catalogue for £3 and then you get some vouchers in the catalogue. I'm not sure yet, I've not decided. But it's usually about £3. It won't be more than £4 anyway. It depends how many pages we've got in it this year, but it won't be more than £4. And we'll also do a PDF version for those that want to download one. That will of course be free. If you want to download it to your iPad and flick through it at your own leisure rather than browsing through the site.
Stephen said, do you stock that glue?
Do we stock this glue? Yeah. Yeah. It's DLAD87. Is the part number. We have loads of it. We've usually got about 60 bottles in stock most of the time. Because it's so good. It goes off really quickly. It's a bit like the rocket card glue, which is kind of super glue for card. Well, this is super glue for card and wood. But it won't glue your fingers together, which is an absolute bonus.
Clive said, do you have plans to make jumper leads and jumper boxes for Class 86034 electric locomotives in AA?
No, because I don't know what. I need to see pictures. If you show me pictures, if you can email me pictures, Clive, I can have a look and tell you whether it's feasible or not. I wouldn't know what they look like. I'm sure perhaps Tim might know. If you're still watching, Tim, you may know what they look like. Dylan may, well, Ian might do. Dylan, no, doesn't have water in it and coal, so Dylan probably won't know. Because Dylan's a steam nut. He won't know. I don't really know. I wish I did. I wish I could answer all these questions, but my railway knowledge, believe it or not, is a little bit limited sometimes. Right, I've glued the U-bolts on. So what I've done is pushed them over the top, and I've just secured them with a tiny little drop of glue. I'm just going to nudge this one so it matches the other side.
Frails are the old version with the bit on the front of a combine harvester.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, I see. Right. That could be challenging, doing one of them, wouldn't it? Right, yeah, that would be interesting to do, but my God, it might be a challenge. Lost my train of thought. Right, there we go. U-bolts, axles in position. What we're going to do now then is going to make the wheels. In fact, I might make the wheels whilst we glue the headboard on. So let's release the headboard. Obviously, the instructions work you through in some sort of logic. I'm kind of doing it as I go this morning on this. The instructions will walk you through. There's more structure than this. Right, so headboard, I'm just going to glue either side of these tabs here at the front. I'm just going to position it roughly where I want it and hold it for a few seconds, hopefully. I'll keep moving now. I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds until the glue starts to set. As soon as the glue starts to go, there we go. Doesn't take long. As soon as the glue starts to grab, we can put a bit more glue on around the edges, and it shrinks nicely as it dries. It sort of absorbs into the laser board. So we go. Headboard's now in place. I'm going to set that aside while we're building wheels and get all the rest of it finished. Okay, double axle, or double wheel, not double axle. Could do a double axle version of the trailer, a longer one, which we need to do, I suppose. That might be useful for those doing road transport. Anyway, double wheel version, we need a couple of spacers.
Nick said, how come your tweezers don't ping everything to the floor?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just lucky this morning, I think. Things could go drastically wrong in it. They sometimes do. Right, I'm just going to release these wheel parts from sheet.
David says, how's Tina doing?
Tina's good. Tina's downstairs. She's lasering at the moment. She's running the lasers this morning. And we're working with Kate downstairs. She's good. She's very well. Okay, so we've got 4 pieces there, which are the centres of each of the tyres. And then this side, we have 8 tyres, which I'll try and show you. 8 tyre halves. Now, on the edges of those, as you can see, there's some engraved tread detail. Quite hard to see, but I'm going to put those to one side so I know which ones are the ones with the tread on. Because if your eyesight's like mine.
Will you be making scrumpy kegs and a model of Rosie?
Scrumpy cake there, actually. I don't know, actually. We do some beer cakes, but I don't know, maybe we could do that. Another 3D printed idea, I suppose. Scrumpy cakes. It'd be good fun to do. Oh yeah, Steve's just asked what's that in the bottom of the jar.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's running.
Something I said, yeah, it's wet paper, bit of tissue. If you put the glue in that way, the tip doesn't set, or doesn't block while you're using it. So it's just literally a bit of tissue, bit of water, kitchen roll, anything like that. In the bottom, a little bit of water just to wet the tissue. You put the glue in upside down. You get a little bit of seepage from the end of the glue tip, but not a lot. You don't lose a lot of glue at all, and it saves you that, what do you call it, pain in the neckness that is a blocked up glue tip. Okay, so the wheels, tyres even. Tyres are going to go together really straightforwardly. It's a sandwich again. So we're starting with an engraved piece. Turn it over so that engraving faces downwards. A little tiny bit of glue around the tyre. I'm going to put one of the middle parts in now on the top. And I'm going to add a little bit more glue.
Tinkerson said, did you do the Man vs Coast event last weekend?
No, I did not. Whatever that is, but no, I did not. Man versus Coast. No, I didn't. I spent the weekend doing DIY and stuff. Right, there we go. Tyre. One tyre built. Really easy. Obviously, paint these black, grey, whatever colour you want them to be. Before you fit them to the wheel hub would be ideal. Do the next wheel, the tyre. Just got 4 of these to do. Don't take many seconds. Okay, that's 2. Really easy. These are the same tyres that are in our LX144 kit. So if you're building a harbour or if you're modelling a silage pit on a farm and you want to cover it over in plastic, just like we do in real life, tyres are perfect for popping on there, for weighting them down, just like the real thing. So that's LX144. There we go. That's that. I'm nearly done the last one. Last tyre. These are so easy to build. Yeah, we have 4 tyres, 2 spaces. What we need now is wheel hubs. There's extra wheel hubs on here in case you want to do other things on the layout with them. Just use them as, say, more farm litter and things like that. We just need 4. There's plenty on here. So to just put as many on there as could fit, really. Okay, wheel hubs, they have some engraved detail on one side. I'll try and show you. Hold it with tweezers, and this may be where it pings across the floor. Right, can you see? Where are we? This is really hard. The top of that is slightly curved. I don't know whether it's possible to see that.
Someone's just asked me what your DIY skills are like.
My DIY skills? What do you think?
They're good at most things.
Not too bad.
No.
Not too bad.
You've made some of the stuff that I've asked you to do.
Yeah, true. With the right tools, I can do most things. I have a go at most things. Might not really do them very well, but.
Well, you made that macrame stand, didn't you?
Oh, yeah,
that was alright.
Okay, so the wheel hubs, just quite simply gluing them into the centre of the wheels, like that. And I'm just pressing it down with my finger. I'll use the tweezer just to make sure it's set properly inside the tyre. Just put a little bit of glue on the inside of the tyre. Just enough. Pop the hub in the middle and make sure the hub's the right way up. So one side is flat, one side is slightly curved. It's engraved. You can probably see it better actually when it's glued on or glued into the tyre. You can probably tell there's a bit of shape to the wheel hub.
Tom's asked, will you be doing a twin axle longer version of the trailer?
Yes. Yes. What length do you want it, Tom? How many feet do you need it? This is a 20-foot trailer. Do you want 30 foot? Would that work? If you tell me in the comment now what length you want, Elizabeth will make a note of it for me. And I can get it built.
David said, is Lizzy a modeller?
A modeller? No, she's never really built anything.
I built the. Oh, what was it?
Spitfire.
Yeah, but I built the. Oh, what was it? I can't remember now.
You built a couple of bits, I suppose. You haven't had enough practice at things.
I thought I built the beta trucks or something at one point.
Hey?
I thought I built the beta trucks at some point.
Oh yeah, you did build the beta trucks. Yeah, quite a long time ago.
It was years ago.
Yeah. Right, so we go 4 wheels. Which are looking decent. What we do now then? Grab our chassis, which is now set nicely. And we're going to feed the wheels onto the axles. Now, if anybody asks, do the axles rotate? They don't, unfortunately, at the moment. Anybody that really fancies a bit of micro-engineering could replace the axle for a round axle and make them rotate. But for the purposes of this kit, they are purely static wheels. Okay, so that's one wheel on. What we're going to do now is just going to pop the spacer on. So the spacer just sits over the wheel there and gives us just enough gap between each of the wheels. And we put them on. Just a tiny, tiny bit of a gap. Not a lot of a gap, but just enough for a double-wheeled trailer. So there we go, second wheel on. So
Clive said, can you send a link to the email?
Link to the what?
To email.
Oh, yeah. Who said? Tom?
No, Clive said.
Clive. Oh, yeah. Just email Justin. Justin at... Sorry, I'm being looked at like I'm a fool. Justin at ScaleModelScenery.co.uk will do, and that will come through to me. Or you can email help at ScaleModelScenery.co.uk. Either will be fine. If you email help, to be honest, if you email help, it will get picked up by either me, Dylan, or Ian, and it will get added to ClickUp without me forgetting. And ClickUp's our project management tool. It'll be added to that, and nobody will forget about it. If you email that would be brilliant. So that's help at ScaleModelScenery. Otherwise, the other one just goes into my inbox and it might disappear into the whatever that is my inbox. Okay. Got 4 wheels on a trailer.
Tim said, could you do some ramps to the back so you could load vehicles, etc.?
Yeah, that'd be a good one actually. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we could do that. In fact, this having managed to get this kit to work, it allows us to do quite a few things that probably would have 3D printed in the past. But this has its sort of benefits in that it's more customizable than the 3D printed kit. If we 3D printed the trailer and chassis and all the rest of it, your ability, or the ability it gives you to customize things, is a bit limited with resin or PLA. Whereas this, of course, it's just paper, really, paper and colour. You can hack it to do whatever you like. So we go, 4 wheels on a trailer, and we have one last piece to put on, and we are done, which is in record time, 45-minute build this morning. That's pretty good, and that's 2 kits. So we have the block, this is another piece, I'm not quite sure what this is called. I'm going to call it a jockey block, because it's the bit where the jockey wheel normally goes, but on a Bale trailer, it tends to just be a sort of trapezium-shaped block of steel or something. So that's that bit. I'm just going to glue that underneath there. So rather than there being a jockey wheel, which is adjustable like in a caravan and all that, they don't tend to have those on agricultural trailers. It tends to just be a block that holds the hitch off the floor, so when you back your tractor up, it's about in the right place. What I'm doing now is trying to get that.
Edward asked, any chance of a pillbox being produced for a field scene?
Yes, I believe Dylan drew some. If Dylan's watching, did you draw some? I think you did. If not, I know where there's one locally. I could probably go and measure up and get drawings from. Oh, there's probably drawings on the internet. Right, there we go. I'm just waiting for that to dry for a minute. We've got our jockey block on, axle's done, wheels are done, and the trailer is pretty much finished. That's not a bad build, that, this morning. So we built a trailer and a roller. There we go. Job done. What else have we got coming in? Questions? Can you do a sample selection pack to build new ballast? Yes, we can. That's something we want to do. I need to work out the best way of packaging it, or in fact, I'll have a word with the lady that sorts it all out for us and makes all the flowers and all that business. I'll have a word with her and see if she can point me in the right direction of the bags she uses, or she may be able to put some packs together for us. But yeah, that'd be a good one. A kind of a taster pack, I suppose, would be good. I'm just reinforcing a couple of bits in here now, just to make sure they're glued well enough. Morning, Roy. Thanks for the delivery. Oh, okay. Stuff takes overseas delivery. It's taking ages at the moment. It's driving me mad. It's really, really irritating. We've had stuff sitting in customs either here or in Australia, or wherever destination countries. It sits there for ages, and I've no idea why. It's just there, just to do with whatever. I don't know. People are using Brexit and everything. COVID's an excuse now, I think. It just takes ages sometimes, but I'm glad your order arrived. Have you thought about an old type of loose hay trailer? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I haven't thought about it, but it's something else we could do. Now we know this trailer works, we can do all manner of trailers. So there we go. That's this morning's build. It's done. I'm not forgetting the cartwheel. There we go. Cartwheel. Really straightforward. Trailer is not as difficult as it looks. It looks like quite a complex build, but as you've seen, I'm not really I'm no skilled modeler really. I'm capable of following instructions, but I'm making it up as I go along. But that's it. It looks complex, but it's not. It's really, really straightforward. If you take your time, wait for the glue, like all our kits, take your time, wait for the glue to go off as you work from part to part, and it'll go together with no problems. Just take your time. That's it. So the trailer. So did Tom come back with a link for the other trailer?
Yeah, I've taken a photo of it.
All right, okay, so we've got that. Any other questions? We need to 30 and 40 foot. Right, okay. Ramps to the back, yeah. 30-foot double axle, yeah. Can't find a better said harvester, but okay. I'll do some searching for combine harvesters, Chris. I'm sure I can sort something. Thanks, Steve, for the kind words. Hopefully, yeah. I think all of you guys as friends. I think of all of you as friends. Without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this, and I wouldn't be enjoying what I do so much. I love making stuff. I love seeing what people do with the things. One of the big things for me, because I'm not a painter and a skill modeler, I like to see what you guys come up with. I'll give you the kits and the gear to do things, but I like to see what you create with our products, and that's the thing that does it for me. I really enjoy seeing it. What else have we got? Any more before we disappear? Just scrolling a bit quick.
Sorry.
Shed gates, yep, Steve. I'm going to go back to my desk now and I'll put the shed gates on. I have them, they're done. I just need to get them on the side. I need to go and photograph them and get them done. They are there. Sorry, it's taken me longer than I planned, but they are done. Who else we got? Trailer with a tailboard and a higher headboard, which is better for transporting bales. Yes, we can do one. Yeah, I guess this is an older trailer, and it would be the sort that you would use for transporting rectangular bales. Static grass bulk packs. Yeah, we've got some bulk packs coming in a couple of weeks. At the moment, we've got the smaller packs, which are ideal for micro layouts and just testing stuff. But we'll get some big packs in. When will they be available? Give it a couple of weeks. I need to speak to supplier and get her geared up, but make sure she's got the stuff in she needs to do the big packs for us. This kit, 441 trailer and 436 are both on the site and available to order if anybody that wants one. I think that's about it, isn't it? I think that covers everything. Thank you ever so much for watching. I think Elizabeth enjoyed it. She's been sat here with her foot up on the desk most of the time, just messing about on her phone. But I think she's enjoyed it. It's been good fun.
I'll do. You doing one next week?
If we don't do one, then Dylan might. But we'll be doing one. We'll be doing more over
I'll
the
do the
summer.
next one.
I might get you to build something at some point.
What?
Might get you to build something at some point. Why not?
No.
Oh, what with your talents? We might have to do something simple. I don't know. We'll get you doing some scenery stuff or something. We'll have a play.
That's fine.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the day. Hope you enjoyed the build. Back with something next week. But I'm going to crack on now. Get the catalogue done. Get Steve's gate up on the site. And get on with load more things. And Lola's just having a bit of a chunter about something. So right, I'll see you all next week, possibly. If it's not Dylan doing it, then it'll be me. Right. Have fun. Take care. See you all. Bye-bye.